licensed commercial real estate broker and agent, all in one bucket. How much money do you think the average commercial real estate broker makes in the U.S.?
Oh, Jesus, Rod. Well, Rod,
Yeah,
thank you for coming on the show today. I have to tell you, when I was at the CREI Summit and saw you speaking, I mean, I knew about you, but, I really did kind of a deep dive when I got back. I mean, what you do is impressive. And I think, so I thank you for coming on. I think our followers are going to learn a lot from you today. And I want to touch on not just AI, but I want to kind of start with coaching. And so your main business, I guess. And can you kind of give us a background of who Rod is, a little bit about your company, what you do, please?
Yeah, I'm a founder of a company called the Massimo Group. It's a consortium of commercial real estate experts that coach mostly brokers, but also mortgage brokers and even investors now on how to build the business and life they've always desired. My background is I've been more entrepreneurial, give and take. And sometimes I had jobs along my career. I ran a law firm, I ran a telecom firm, I patented a sports watch. I've done a lot of crazy things. I have, but
you're a true entrepreneur.
I guess I am, right?
Yeah.
Shiny objects. But when 2008 was coming around, I was an executive with a brokerage firm called Sperry Van Ness at the time, now SVN, and ran Sperry, Mark Van Ness, myself, the late amazing Kevin Majacomo. We were running the company, and then when the Great Recession hit, I'm the one that was told, we're going to have Kevin be the president, and we're going to give you an opportunity to do something else within the firm, but just not at this level. And I said, no, I want to do something on my own. And that's so after years of working in brokerage and watching other businesses grow, I went home during the Great Recession, went to sleep, and I woke up one day and told my wife, I think I'm going to start coaching. And that was just it. And so 15 years later, we've blossomed into this organization.
All right, very good. You just went to bed and woke up a coach. It's like a Disney movie or a Hallmark Channel movie.
Let's go with Disney.
Yeah, okay, yeah, true. Which says a little bit about me, I guess, doesn't it? I think it's worked out well for our community because I know that you're coaching. I had Bob Knackel on last week, and he speaks very highly of you. And I think not just as a coach, but as a friend. And and that's the key to this. I think finding a good coach. I think it's really getting them to you as a coach, understanding who they are, what their goals are. Can you, I think there's a perception out there though, that you have to be a big dollar producer like Bob to really afford a coach. I'm guessing that's not the biggest part of your business, but can you kind of walk us through who you coach and, do you take on newer people or do coaches take on new people?
Yeah, we have programs. We publicly share this. We have programs for every level of experience and every budget. We recognize folks where they are or in certain positions in their career where they need help, but may not, have the ability to invest as much as others do. We get that. So sure, we have programs for new to business agents. We absolutely do. We have programs for what we call the Peter Plateaus, the Polar Plateaus, mid-careers who are stuck. And we coach several of the world's top brokers. So we Joe have programs for everyone. We don't really focus on one versus the other. It's funny, we shared earlier offline, the new brokers are saying, you must coach the seasoned guys. And yes, we do. And the seasoned guys are defaulting, well, you probably just coach new guys. I'm like, no, we coach a lot of seasoned brokers as well. So, and Bob is fantastic. Bob's also one of the best brokers on the planet. And it's just unique that although the organization Mosimo, we have 32 coaches now across North America. He is the only client I personally coach. All our clients get coached by our other coaches.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think, I do a lot of mentoring, as I mentioned earlier. And the thing that I see is, people don't understand that, if they really had a good coach or a mentor or it's, I sit there and get a little frustrated because they don't identify their weaknesses. And I think having a good coach, the coach will help you identify those weaknesses and help you grow your business. They'll help also keep you accountable, which mentoring is not so much, but a good coach can really help you grow your business.
Yeah, and I appreciate the distinction, Joe. And you're right. Mentoring is not really an accountability partner.
Yeah, it's too hard.
coaching is much more than training. Training, for example, some great trainers in our industry and throughout the country, and just sales, but training is information. Coaching is sharing the information, the new methods, the new approaches that we work on, because it's not just, hey, what do you want to work on? Let's help you. No, we have a methodology and a process of how we help our clients grow. But then, yeah, we hold them accountable. There's no doubt about it. And it's that implementation in which creates the transformation and a significant growth. You know, our clients out earn their peers by 7x every year because of the implementation. So yeah, there's a difference, but mentorship is
there's
fantastic.
a huge difference.
Everyone, Joe, should have a mentor. Everyone should have a mentor.
Yeah, I agree. You know, here's the thing though, when I'm mentoring people, I could give you one example. I had a kid in Alabama I was mentoring, and you know, I was probably borderline coaching him, but it's, you know, I don't really have the time to be a coach or anything like that. It's not what I do, but I would get with him. So my first call is like half an hour, 45 minutes. Say, okay, let's talk again in 2 weeks. But it's going to be like a 10 or 15 minute call. And, you know, then I go through that second call, start going through what he did. And, you know, very little, you know, and I'm not there to hold them accountable. You know, I'm trying to help them out by being, you know, mentoring with them. But I just think having a coach that can hold you accountable, find your weaknesses, provide structure. Structure is something I see that a lot of, especially newer agents, and honestly, a lot of experienced agents don't have a lot of structure. They're more reactionary to what comes at them in the day. And I think having that structure can be a lot advantageous to building your career.
Yeah, and coaching, it's just like, and look, it's whatever you're doing in your field, the listeners, you have to know your audience, right? So, yeah. Joe, we really have 3 avatars. We know who they are. So there's Ned and Nancy newbie, and they're starting out. And guess what? Their broker is not giving them the support which they promote they would. They're not. So they're kind of lost. Then you have Peter and Patty Plateau. We talked about them. They've been doing this for years, but they're stuck. They've hit a plateau. And then Bob and Betty Topper, they're making a lot of money, but they don't really necessarily have a life. They're on the transaction treadmill, plowing away, not building margin. So we have processes, actual programs, you know, to help them break these barriers and start building the life they envision. So that's for everyone. Everyone you serve, and it comes down to this: who do you serve, and how do you serve them? And we tell our broker clients this: tell me who you serve, right? And then how do you serve them? If you can't articulate that, you're going to be stuck and you're going to be a generalist. And then that's not a place you want to be.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think, you know, right there, the feedback, you know, so somebody who's mentoring, you know, it's tough for me to get a lot of feedback because they really don't want to hear it because I'm doing it for free. When you're, you know, I was talking to Ken Ashley one time, I was mentoring this gun guy, and I was talking to Ken about it. He goes, Joe, you need to charge him. I'm like, well, that's not my job. I don't want to take that responsibility because he's just not doing what I'm telling you to do. And Ken was right. You know, you should be, if I'm paying you, I'm going to be more apt to listen to you. And
yeah,
I think
I would say,
that's a key.
So first of all, we used to in the early days, 15 years later, we never do it again. We do not coach anyone who doesn't have skin in the game, because it doesn't work. It just doesn't work. And for those people who say, well, that's a lot of money, right? And then if that's the mindset, people have that mindset. We say, great, because if you think this is a lot of money, that means you're really going to be committed to doing this. Because if you don't, you're not. So that's the beauty of it. It really is.
It really is. And I think it's not, you know, a lot of people think it's, you know, getting started in the business, and it's not about just getting started. It's like you see a lot, you know, you probably know this number, is the turnover in our industry still in the mid or low 90s?
It's not as high as that anymore. But except for the recessionary years, then it becomes that high. But yeah.
But, you know, it's getting started, getting your business rolling, then getting to the next level, you know, going from 2,000, 3,000 square feet to 15, 20 plus square feet. That's, you know, if that's 2-3 years into your career, you're starting to do that. That's very hard to do. That's just as hard as beginning, I think.
Well, Joe, let me ask you, what do you think the average broker in the United States, licensed commercial real estate broker and agent, all in one bucket, how much money do you think the average commercial real estate broker makes in the U.S.?
Oh, Jesus, Rob. Let's 62.5.
You're right. Net.
Really?
Net. You're right. Gross
Oh, that's
100, gross around 130. So
Yeah.
Joe, you're right on target.
I was lucky. Yeah.
But you think, but no, it wasn't luck. That was good, But think about that. The average broker only takes home about $60,000 to $70,000 a year. That's what it is. That's scary. I mean, because you can get a job in the United States at least and make a lot more money than that with that skill set. You can
stress free,
right? You can. It's not. But you're right. To get to that next level, to bring home consistently 200, 400, 800, a million, 2 million, to bring home to your family takes intellectual curiosity, because the ignorance is, we all have ignorance. All of us have ignorance. Joe, you don't know what you don't know. I don't know what I don't know. That's why I get coached by 5 people every year. I do. Every year I invest at least $100,000 in myself because I don't know what I don't know.
Right.
Then there's the intellectually arrogant. I'm good. I'm fine. I don't need to know that. Good. Yeah. If you're there, get comfortable. You're not going to grow. So we look for people with intellectual curiosity. That's what we always look for.
One thing in talking with Bob last week, that's definitely he is always wanting to learn more and what's next and what's new and how do I, because I think as a successful commercial real estate agent, you've got to want to be, what's new. How am I to get there? And he is talking about some of the stuff he has up and coming that he's working on. And here's a guy that doesn't need to do that. He just wants to do it. And, I think that is, if you have that hunger at, beginning stages of your career, you're going to do well.
Well, I'm going to correct you there because, as you know, Bob's a client of mine. And if we talked offline, I talked to him this morning. No, Bob needs to do this. He definitely does. No, because it's not just, I don't need to get better. What's going on today, and we're going to talk about this in a few minutes, what's going on today, if you don't adopt, even the best brokers on the planet are going to be passed by. It's just a fact. That's what's going on. And Bob knew it, and he was convinced of it with a little prodding from my ears, truly. But now he's full in. He's full in, and he realized, look, folks, when you're talking about the best brokers in the world realizing I got to adapt, I got to move forward. That's what it takes right now. You've got to always learn what you don't know. You have to.
Yeah. That's in every business, though, not just brokerage. If you can't adapt.
Yes.
Here's the funny thing, though, Rod, is I'm talking to our agents over the last couple of years. I go, listen, what's coming is going to be, if you're not doing everything we're telling you, because we do. So in our company, Commercial Brokers International, for our new agents, we have 4 new agents right now. It's 8:15 in the morning till 9 o'clock. We have classes every morning, and then we close out the day at 5 p.m. We sit down with them. Okay, how did your calls go? How did your emails go? Did you, we go over productivity, what the results of it, and how can we help you? And even some of the more experienced agents will sit in there and offer their 2 cents. But I forgot where I was going with this now, but it's something that we do. But, even then the agents, a few months or several months ago were like, you guys don't understand. You guys have been in the business too long. This isn't the way we do it. And I'm like, okay. And now that everything's starting to happen the way we were telling them was going to happen, they're like, oh, okay, now they're really on board and they're doing everything. And, this stuff didn't, I've been around a while. This isn't my first cycle.
But I will caution you. I'll caution you, Joe. So back in January, I have this gentleman who was just a friend of mine, and now we've actually hired him as our director of innovation. He called me up and said, he's 27 years old. Joe, I'm 60. I'm 60. He's 27. So he could be my kid. He could definitely be my kid, right? And he said, Rod, I needed your attention for 10 minutes, and I want you to get on Zoom with me. And I said, okay, whatever. And he showed me Chat GPT. Okay. Yeah. And I was like, uh-oh, the world is changing. My point was, don't discount you're a mentor. Mm-hmm. Some of your mentors, some people out there, your mentors, my mentors are younger than me because they know more than me in certain things, right? That's what mentorship is about.
Yeah. I've learned a lot from them. I mean, there are times that an algorithm will change and they'll come and tell me, hey, the algorithm changed. You're like, missed it. So I value everything they have to say to me. It's just, they thought, I'm going to put a couple posts up or I'm going to, and the world's going to come around to me. I'm like, no,
good luck
that's
with
not
that.
the way it's going to work.
Joe, I had to tell you, I won't mention the company's name. It's one of the top 3 companies. A client called me yesterday and said he was in a meeting with some juniors, and the juniors were telling him, no, it's all different now. All we have to do is email.
Yeah.
So he said, Rod, please tell me this isn't true. And I said, so we look, Joe, because we're a coaching company and we track everything, thousands of clients, 15 years. So audience, please understand this. The number one generation revenue source every year and exponentially higher than number 2 is the phone call. It just is every year. So why do you want to change it? I don't know.
Yeah. Isn't it amazing that that still works? You know, everybody goes, oh, I'll just email them. I'm like, why don't you call them and then do a follow-up email? Try that. See how that works.
Try that.
Yeah. And so, you know, I'm very careful, and I hope our agents there, well, I know they're going to be listening to this, but I'm very thankful for every one of them because I learn a lot from them. And, you know, even our more experienced agents will sit and they'll start seeing the lead generation that's coming in. And from the younger agents, they're like, how do you do that? So you're like, okay, now there's when they see the benefit of it, they all of a sudden maybe I'll adopt some of this, you know, like Bob did with getting on Twitter just in January of this year. And I'm like, I thought, and now look at him.
25,000 followers later.
Is that what he has already? Yeah, it's impressive. But I think, you know, plus the energy the younger generation brings into our office, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And you know, we're very fortunate. We really focused on company culture. So everybody, like we did potluck for lunch yesterday. These guys go to lunch almost every day together. And so they work, you know, side by side all day, every day. So they're very supportive of each other, and it's a fun environment. But I know that everybody's, you know, I put the post out about AI and everybody's trying to figure out what to do with this, Rod. And I think it's something that our industry, it will evolve our industry. And, you know, I think that being aware of it, and don't let me forget at the end, I've got a couple of people that asked a couple of questions. Hopefully I don't forget those. But, you know, and I saw your speech at CREI Summit, which you really knocked it out of the park, by the way. And actually the whole CREI Summit was absolutely impressive this year. Hopefully it'll be back next year. And, you know, I got thinking, man, it was kind of buzzing after you got off stage about AI and how do I learn this? And so I know you've got a lot of trade secrets, and of course we want all them, but we're not going to get them today. I want to kind of, you know, where do you see AI going within our industry, and how is it going to evolve?
Well, it's going to transform everything in our industry. Buildings are becoming smarter every single day. They are, right? Decision process is happening instantaneously. It is. Our ability to serve our clients, which is the number one thing, will be accelerated exponentially within a matter of months. It will be. The idea of asking for example, 6 months listing, you won't be asking that within the next 6 months. Those will be gone. You won't need that anymore. And your investors and tenants and landlords won't sign those anymore. They won't, because you can get work done in minutes versus months. That it's proven. You can.
Yeah.
So I think you got to realize, look, the pandemic accelerated so much to what we do now. Zoom is a perfect, what you're doing right now. It's because of the pandemic. That's why, right? But this new innovation, this new technology that's coming and it's here, is the greatest accelerant in our lifetime. It is, and probably in our history, the greatest accelerant in the history of mankind is AI. And so that's why, look, Bob Nackle, you mentioned him a couple of times, that dude's 61 years old and he gets it, right? I'm 60. I get it. I see it. It's a great accelerant. So I shared this at the summit, and I shared this at a couple of places I spoke to. Right now, today, you have the ability, and this today, you don't think it's not coming. This is today. You have the ability to call an owner, and he'll say or she'll say, yeah, why don't you come by and let's talk about my property? Great. And you have that meeting in 3 days. Okay. So in that interim, you can create all the marketing material you need for that owner property to be ready to launch a listing as soon as you meet with that owner. That can happen instantaneous. You can actually write the PowerPoint in AI for the pitch. You can write the website for that building, all things you need to know, your deal room, everything done within a matter of days and moments because of AI. And so now you go to the pitch and that owner, she says, okay, I really want to sell this property. How long do you need? And you're going to say, well, give me a couple of weeks and I'll get back to you what the entire market thinks about this asset. She'll go, a couple of weeks? You go, yeah. In fact, if you sign my listing right now, what I'll do, because you'll set this up in advance, is I will call, you name the number, Joe, 100, 200, 2,000, 10,000 investors, buyers, tenants, landlords, you everyone in the next 20 minutes. Yeah. And you will.
Click of a button.
Click of a button. Email, text, video, chat. And then you'll have AI bots talking to all the investors and tenants and answering all their questions while you sleep. Well, you think I'm crazy? We're doing this right now. We're doing it right now. I know they are.
I heard one.
Joe saw it.
I heard yours at the event, but I heard one the other day, and it was AI booking a hair salon appointment for this lady, and the hair salon owner worker had no idea they were talking to AI. The AI would clear its throat. It would say, it called and asked for a time. The person at the hair salon said, well, no, that time is booked. What else is better for you? The AI goes, okay, let me look. It just clears its voice and it's looking. Okay, how about this time? Yes, that'll work. Okay. And they confirm the appointment. Amazing. But I don't know. That could have been, I was watching a video, so take that for what it's worth.
Yeah, but, and I will tell you that the two most prominent voice generation AI tools that are out there today, they are so far fluff and not fact. They are. I've tested them both. They are right. That now delays obvious AI, but this is the iPhone 1, Joe.
Yeah,
we're on iPhone 1.
It's changing fast.
Yeah. So wait till happens. We get iPhone 2 and 3, and let alone iPhone 15 in AI. Everything's changing.
I think by this time next year, or even before.
Yeah, even before. No. We're slow to adapt. We are.
Well, yeah. I mean, the technology will be there, but will we adapt? Yeah. I mean, that's what I mean. Is the technology will probably be there. It's getting it to.
And what's it gonna take is when you go get a listing and someone go, no, I just gave it to someone else. You can go, I am more experienced, more knowledgeable than 10 times that dude, right? They go, yeah, but that dude can do it in 10 minutes, and you're telling me it's gonna take me 10 months.
Yeah.
And then then you'll adapt. And you'll adopt to saying, I got to do things different.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be. Now, as far as is a business development tool, how is that? How do you think that's going to evolve? It'll be doing the cold calls for you, right?
No, look, a broker told me this, and I understand that, and I appreciate this very much. The broker said, I want to talk to all those people. I want to engage them, create a relationship, and then I'll see if they have other assets to sell or lease or whatever. I want to have those conversations. So, though it can replace those conversations, it is already.
Right.
Brokers still need to have those conversations. But what they can do instead is they can let the AI tools and automation tools do all the emailing, all the text, all the qualifying, like the woman with the hair appointment. That was a filter. That's what it was, right? Yeah. So the AI bots can do all that and give you a list of qualified leads that you can now talk to. So instead of chasing 1,000 leads, you can talk to the 20 or 30 leads that are interested in your property or leasing or whatever your services. That's available today.
Yeah. Well, I think one thing that I was really impressed with is the way it can really save you as far as your back office, filling in your CRM. That's all just going to be automatic. It's going to take seconds instead of hours. When you're doing your databasing and that kind of stuff, it's all going to happen so fast.
I can't give the name, but there is one that I know for a fact. There is one provider in our industry that's building that right now, and he'll get so much market share. It's not a hill, it's an organization. We'll get so much market share because and look. So Joe, I don't know Joe, what CRM do you use, for example?
I just have Outlook for what I do.
Okay.
I don't actually do the day-to-day business.
Okay,
I've got
a
a business partner for that.
So there are CRMs. They're all good CRMs out there. They're all really good CRMs. There are CRMs that offer VA services, so you can be in your car and call someone and say, update my CRM to this and have this conversation, and the VA will do that, and that's really convenient.
Right.
Well, you don't need that VA anymore. You'll call your AI bot and say, update my CRM, and your CRM will be updated. That's a fact.
Yeah, and it'll update, and I'm sure CoStar is going to do something at some point where, you're going to know when everything is, it's just going to, all the information is going to be right there. You're going to be able to download it right into your CRM, and it's
for
going
a
to be
premium price, of course. That's a premium.
I didn't say
model,
that.
Joe.
If CoStar's watching, that was Rod said that.
I know.
I'll get a call from their attorney. So
I'm a support. No. I'm a supporter of CoStar. They provide a great service. But as a businessman, I'm a businessman. You want to do that? That's higher value. That's higher price.
Yeah, no, I agree. I just think the value they do bring is very powerful. How long do you think to get fully integrated with AI? It's going to take some time. Do you think it's a couple years down the road, or how soon do you think that we really? I mean, I think we need to be looking at it very hard right now. But what is your recommendation when you're talking to your people?
When you say we, you mean the commercial real estate
industry, commercial real estate
the industry. We're still. I mean, the larger firms are using it. No one's using it really in brokerage yet. No one. Okay. They're using it in properties and property management and analysis, but not brokerage. They're not using it for skip tracing. They're really not yet, but they are. Some brokers are. So, Joe, we're still years away from industry adoption to the tools. But the beautiful thing is those that take the dive, Bob Knackel, right, and others, you're going to win more opportunities while other people are trying to figure it out. You just will. So I think you should dive in head first and figure it out. Now, I'll be first to Joe, we have made mistakes with AI. We've done things in our organization. We've tested things, and our clients have told us, I don't like that. I don't like it at all. Right. And me saying, well, damn it, that's the future, isn't the answer. No. It isn't. It's okay, pull it away. Don't do that anymore. And we're learning from our clients, and we should. And the market will tell us what is acceptable and what isn't. It will. But AI is nothing more than a calculator or a smartphone. It's just a tool.
Yeah, but at least you're trying, right? If you try and fail, at least you tried, right? Instead of
I love to fail. I think failure is the best. I love failing because I know, okay, I learn.
Yeah, you learn from it and you move forward, and you just know next time. Are there any tools that you can recommend that people should be looking at right now?
Everyone, and I don't know, no disparaging to Claude or Bard or any of those guys, right? They're all great platforms. Right. But everyone should spend $20 a month and have a Chat GPT 4.0 account. They just announced yesterday that all the great tools they have, the DALL-E 3 integration, data analyzer, the plugin store, the Bing supporter 2 for update information, all those tools they've been building for the last 3 months, 4 months, and getting in there. As of yesterday, they announced you can use them all at one time. And what that means is you have this comprehensive data set of tools in your arsenal to really leverage AI like it's never been possible as of today. So everyone should you start there. Just start at the fundamentals. And the fundamentals are the original OG, only less than a year old, is ChatGPT 4.0, $20 a month. Everyone should have that. Everyone should have that.
The company is growing so fast. They just took over 500 and some odd thousand square feet in San Francisco.
Yeah, but but the number of visitors to their site is actually going down. It was a hockey stick initially, which is obvious. Yeah. Now it's going down because Claude is an amazing tool by Anthropic, and I know that Amazon just put in a couple $2 billion in there last week. Yeah. Claude's a really amazing tool. You can upload so much things. But I also look, I don't know if you know, do you read the newsletter CRE Daily by any chance?
I do not.
Phenomenal newsletter. And this is what I love about it. The CRE Daily newsletter gives you great content. Anyone who does commercial real estate brokerage, fantastic newsletter. Probably my favorite CRE newsletter. But also on Sundays, they have the bullpen newsletter that comes with it. And in the bullpen newsletter, Joe, this is really cool. They give you access to everyone's market reports. Everyone's. JLL's, CBRE's, everyone's. So folks, you now take those market reports, you upload them to ChatGPT 4.0 through the data analyzer. This is really easy. You follow these steps. You analyze the data in there. You ask for what things, give me the trends here, what's happening there. How does markets report different than CBR's report? What trends are going on? And it gives you everything. And now you're an expert. You then tell ChatGPT, cite the right source, do the right thing, cite the right source.
Yep.
Let's create a summary of my market. Now you got market information. You're an expert all of a sudden, you're authority. And then you have Dolly 3 create charts for you to help support your thesis on market information. So between those tools I just told you, everything is right there for you to grab right now.
Yeah, I love Bullpen. Those guys do a good product. I just think that, you've got to really, it's time to really start learning this stuff. And, we got guys like you leading the charge and educating us on this. But all right, well, I'm going to ask you these two questions that people ask. Amber Brandigan asked, where's the best place to start?
ChatGPT 4.0. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Best place. And look, if you don't want to spend the money, that's fine. Mm-hmm. Use ChatGPT 3.5. It's free, and just play with it. You'll still realize you need to get the 4.0, but it's free. Start there.
Yeah, I think, and there's one thing I even made a comment when I was speaking at the CREI Summit is you're seeing a lot of people, we're getting kind of lazy, right? We're always looking for the shortest route. And so we're taking a headline, we're putting it in ChatGPT, and it's going to spit something out, and then we're putting that in our blog or wherever. And, you've seen the quality of the content that's been going down. So I challenge everybody to write your blogs, and maybe put it in ChatGPT for ideas. But do you have any suggestions or how people can make better content with that?
Well, first of all, I love what you just said. So let me give you a little insider thing. We're realizing at the Massimo Group. It's the Massimo Group. We've now supported our coaching tools and our methods with AI. So I'll give you a quick example. If you wanted to write a prospect letter to a client, we know who your avatar is, right? What the letter would be. We will use the new, not the old ADA format. And so the AI would know Joe's writing Sally Seller. This is all about Sally, and using the ADA format. So Joe, if I asked you to write a prospect letter a year ago, you would have to sit there with a pen and pencil or a typewriter and write a prospect letter, right? Yep. But now I know what you went to write. So Joe, write this letter. Here's your letter, Joe. Here's the problem. And you hit the nail on the head. Here's the problem. You haven't learned anything. You haven't learned a damn thing. Mm-hmm. AI creates stuff and you say, okay, use it. It's a great mistake. It really is.
Yeah.
Oh, and that's the problem. So Joe, I love it you asked that question.
Well, and I think, some of the blogs are just so remedial. You're like, if you're really targeting a sophisticated investor, you're getting somebody that's new. And so you got to really think about it. Who is my avatar? And am I really reaching them? And, we get it's quick, it's easy because we're always rushing, because we don't have that structure that a good coach would tell us to have. And, so I think it's very important really to remember that. Okay. Last question. Nicole Campbell asked, what's the best avatar/video creator out right now?
There's one being developed. When you say avatar video, well,
she put avatar/video.
Okay, well, the avatar videos, Synthesia is the big bad ass of the industry. It is. We use Synthesia, but Hygen, Hygen, is also coming out with some really cool stuff. AI-infused avatars for videos, less expensive, but more restrictive than Synthesia as far as minutes. So Synthesia, and Hygen are the two out there right now that we've tested and played with, and I think are really good. So we'll see.
They could make the names a lot easier, couldn't they?
They could.
I'm just like, some of the names these people come to, I'm like, where do they? Anthropic? I mean, like
Anthropic, yeah. What is that?
Anthropic, yeah. I'm like, see, can't even get that right. Yeah, it's just like, oh my God. Let's work on those a little bit. But well, Rod, thank you very much for coming on today. I know people are going to have questions, and if everybody has a question, put it in the comments. I'll make sure that Rod sees it. Rod, I am going to put your information down below so people that are interested in coaching or other questions can reach out to you. But can you give us a quick word how we can get hold of you?
Yeah, best way is my website, Massimo, Massimo -group.com, Massimo-group.com. We'd love to talk to you. Free strategy session. Let's help you grow.
All right, very good. Thank you, Rod. And for those of you watching, give us a like. And if you haven't done so, make sure you subscribe, and we'll see you again next week.